to win. I think India are going to bat it out for a draw. Now, the first question that I want to ask myself today for you guys is, why did England bat so long? I think they were unsure about the Indian batting potential. Their bowlers didn't bowl too well, especially Leach in the first innings. Best was very good in the first half of his bowling, but in the second half he dropped off. And Archer probably didn't look as fully fit as they would like. So they wanted more runs on the board moving forward. So they're a little bit unsure. And plus you got the Pant factor, taking on the spinners and turning the game on his own bat very quickly and putting them in a position to win. And also the Sundar factor, batting down in the lower order. He was absolutely brilliant and put India back in a position where they might be able to win this game. I thought Boomer was sensational with both with his reverse swing and pace. But I want to have special mention to Ishant Sharma. What a fantastic bowler he's been for India. I remember when he first came over to Australia back in 2007, I played against him there. And I remember playing him out Sydney, and that old Monkeygate test match, playing him out Sydney, Andrew Simons and I had a good partnership against him and felt that I had his measure with the pace. The next test match was against India in Adelaide, and I went out to bat. He bowled the first ball, went straight past my nostrils. Then the next ball hit me in the inside thigh, and he was bowling quicker than Brett Lee. And I started to panic there. But 300 wickets to Ishant Sharma. And to do that with a lot of bowling in the subcontinent in India just shows that he's got good accuracy, fantastic accuracy, but also he's got great endurance. Moving forward tomorrow, I think England are slightly going to panic just because they batted for so long. But the way that Pujara as well as Gill have faced the spinners and just try to show a little bit of authority with the way that they bat and put the spinners on the back foot just shows me that they're still keen to chase down this total and have a historic win here in Chennai. Okay, let's get into some questions here. All right, Atal Baral, how are you going, mate? What should India's batting approach be? Now, this is very good. I think India moving forward tomorrow, I think they might think about bringing Pant up the list and batting him out 5. And just let him take on the English bowlers. And if he comes off, makes another 90 or even a bigger score, it puts them in a slight position where they might be able to win the game, especially with the way that Washington Sundar bats down in the lower order, as well as Ashwin. So you've got a lot of depth there. But you also have that protection of Ajinkya Rahane out number 6, who can play that defensive role and try and bat it out for a draw. So there's plenty of cricket left in this test match. Very good question there. Okay, was England, this is Cricket Nepal, thanks very much for joining me. Was England making sure that they can bowl with relatively new ball when their bowlers come to bowl fresh tomorrow, so they batted long? For me, I felt that they probably left it too long. I felt that they should have probably had 12 to 15 overs out India tonight. And then the ball could stay relatively hard for another 5 overs the next day before it really goes soft. But they have that long period. If you look at the results, a lot of the wickets in this test match, the big wickets, have fallen in the first 10 overs with a new ball. So they wanted to give themselves another chance with 20 overs with the second new ball at least to try and bowl India out. So for me, I think they've just been a little bit negative, but proof will be in the pudding tomorrow because there's a little bit of turn there for Jack Leach. That is a very good question. Nitin Kishore, do you think this series home advantage narrative is overrated since India haven't played at home for more than a year and come from Australia and England and are coming from similar conditions and England coming from similar conditions to from the Sri Lankan tour? This is a very good question, Nitin. I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. I think Indian batsmen will adapt very quickly. If you look at the bowlers, Felt they were harsh done by on the first 2 days, but they found their areas in that second innings and they looked as though they had England on the back foot. So moving forward in the Test series, if they bat first, England are going to have their work cut out with the Indian bowling attack because they utilised wearing pitches a lot better than the English bowlers, especially in the spin department. So don't panic in that regard. But this is what I like about England. Any format that they have, Nitin, they prepare well for the conditions, for the opposition, and that's why they're dominating in 20-over cricket as well as one-day-over cricket, and they're doing well in Test match level. They don't have a better team than India on paper here, but they know it, and they have prepared diligently, just like India did over in Australia. God, that was a fantastic series over here. I still can't get over it. Just a brilliant innings from Pant. The unanimous. What should be the plan of the spinners tomorrow? Well, I was just looking at Jack Leach. I like the way that he was coming around the wicket, attacking the stumps. I think he's got to attack the stumps, but also just vary the line, but keep the same length. Okay, when you're varying the line, what he's doing is he's attacking the stumps, but putting one out wide, which turns away, makes the batsman, or try and get the batsman to play away from his body. And this is the same with Best. But then you try and get one landing just outside off stump that goes straight on to try and get the LBW. You just keep a simple game plan. And Best to the right-handers, just trying to hit the top of off stump. Every now and then do what Ashwin does and try and attack the leg stump, get the batsman to work on the leg side, and the one that doesn't spin, you get that leading edge. Pant is the big wicket. What Jack Leach has got to do is bowl wider into the rough and hopefully to try and get it as turn as much as it possibly can, but also try and get a straighter one so that Pant isn't quite to the pitch of it. It hits the toe end in his swing. So that's how I think the England spinners should go about it tomorrow. Best to Pant as well tomorrow. Same tactic that he had. Bowl wide, spin the ball away, and Pant can't have as much control. That is probably win or lose the match for both teams. I think it'll still come down to a draw. I think Ajinkya Rahane will bat right to the end tomorrow to save the Test match. Future stars, should England bring Moen next match? I don't think so. I think they've got good batting depth. If you're going to bring Moen Ali in, you're going to have to drop one of your batters, and that could be Lawrence. So you bat Moen Ali out 3 and bowling for a few overs, but still keep your 2 spinners in. And I think there'll be a rotation of bowlers with Broad and Anderson. So if Moen Ali is going to come in, he's got to play bat in the top 6 as well as bowl. And then you've got more bowling options, and you can give the pace bowlers a lot more rest as well and rotate. Okay, someone's just asked me here, it's just quickly gone. All right, will Kuldeep replace Nadim next match? This is from Soumik Arya. Soumik, I think Kuldeep is definitely going to replace Nadim next Test match. Nadim's batting isn't adding anything to the Indian team, and I just think you need that little bit more variety in your attack. I think Sundar's done a fantastic job with the bat. You need that batting depth. He bowls slightly different to Ashwin, so there's a little bit of a different mix there with the 2 right arm off spinners. But Kuldeep Yadav just adds a lot more variety to the English batsman. The only player that 2 players that I'd see Kuldeep struggling against are the 2 batsmen that sweep consistently well. That's Butler as well as Joe Root. I think Kuldeep there, with his new variety of top spinners, will have to bowl more top spinners to those 2 particular players. That's my thoughts. Let's go down. Should England bring Broad in for the next match? This is from Future Stars. Look, let's see how Jofra Archer goes in the next game as well as Anderson. Remember, that Jofra Archer is coming back from a long layoff, and sometimes that can work in your favour where he's very fresh, and other times it doesn't work in your favour because you haven't got that workload under your belt. And remember, they had to be in lockdown for a couple of days. They could only train 3 days before this test series, so his workloads aren't up to scratch for an international bowler. That's not his fault. It's just the way of the world at the present moment, and I don't know what training he's been doing away from the England squad. So they are the questions that only they know. But I'd be watching out for that because he looked as though he dropped off with pace moving forward. NZC, how you going? What do you want to say about Ashwin's bowling in this match? I really have enjoyed Ashwin's bowling. Hopefully I've only got the white ball here now. My red ball's outside. I've been spinning it during the day. What I like about Ashwin, he's got that variety where it comes a square seam down to the batsman, but he's also got the overspin variety, and he's got the cannonball as well. So he's got a lot more variety than the other off spinners in this particular match, but he's also got the added advantage of the extra height. Ashwin's been one of my favourite spinners to watch throughout throughout his career, through the time that he's been on there. He has been a wonderful bowler. Oman, how you going, mate? That's Jerry Daniel Muscat from Oman. How you going, mate? Hope all is well in your neck of the woods. Actually, I hope everyone is safe and well wherever they are in the world that's joined me on the live today. We're in lockdown here at Perth. Hopefully we'll be out of it by the weekend. So we still got to stay at home, most of us, and wear a mask outside, actually. Kumar Rishif. Sir, what do you think it is possible for India to win the first test match? Well, it depends on Gill and Pant, the way that they set the tone tomorrow. I think those two, with their attacking ability, their stroke play, and their strike rate, can put India in a winning position. But if those two can't keep up their strike rate and lose their wickets early, well, then it's up to India to save the game. And I think they've got the ability to do that. They did it in Sydney against Australia on an up and down wicket. And this is not as quick as Sydney, but it's still an up and down wicket here. So I think they still got the aptitude and team spirit to get out of this test match. But I'm just liking it right now. It's just set a great foundation for the series to move along. Thanks everyone here who's just joined on. We're having a great time at the moment. Where is that question about Virat Kohli? I've just lost that one. I've already answered that question. Where do you think the test is heading? This is from Shasmir Singh. I think their test, to be honest with you, I don't think India can win the test. I think they're asking a little bit too much because there's a high score to chase. I think it's going to turn out to a draw, and it's going to be a very close finish. But India will probably make around about 350 runs tomorrow. They'll have a crack at it at some stage with Gill and Pant, as I said. But I just don't like the look of that wicket and the way that it's turned. I think it's going to be a little too much for them. This is from Darren's General Info. Hi, Hoggy. How you going, Darren? Should India go for a win or play it out for a draw? Look, I think India have got to play for a win because we want to see exciting cricket. We've just seen an exciting test match over there in Bangladesh versus the West Indies, right to the wire, and Pakistan and South Africa, another fantastic test match. Australia and India here in Brisbane as well. So India went after Australia here in Brisbane. They should do it here. They're playing exciting cricket, and we're all loving it. It's bringing the viewers to the party. And just talking about those other two test matches today, I want to make special mention to Myers from the West Indies. 200 in the fourth innings in a run chase, winning the game for the West Indies on debut. Well done, young fella. That is sensational batting. Markram over in Pakistan, brilliant performance, making 100 in foreign conditions, and Joe Root with his double 100 here in India. Three players that have travelled to the subcontinent that don't play, that aren't subcontinent players, have played major roles for their team with the bat, and that's unheard of 3 games in a row. So well done to those 3 players. And Hassan Ali from Pakistan, you bowled your team to win. So well done to Hassan Ali, and well done to Pakistan today, and well done to South Africa. They put up a good fight. It was a fantastic game to watch. What should England's, this is from Infinite Gaming. How you going, mate? What should England's strategy be tomorrow? I think they've got to operate with spin from one end in the first session and pace from the other end. But the pace bowlers have got to somehow get a little bit of reverse swing. If it's not reverse swinging in the first couple of overs, get your spinners on, get the ball as roughed up as you possibly can, and then every 5 to 8 overs, bring a quick back just to see if it is starting to reverse swing, because we saw India today getting the ball to reverse both ways. Boomerang was swinging it away from the right-hander massively, and it was really troubling the England batsmen, because they were all looking for that end swinger, and Boomerang is a very smart bowler. He took it away from them and caused a lot of trouble. So England will be looking to do that. Spin is the key but for the first session. Let's go down. I am seeing Kuldeep in the next match, Amit. What do you think? This is from Navneeta Kannan, and you were on last night as well. I answered a question from you last night. Thanks for joining me again. What do you think is the reason for England not declaring 15 to 20 overs earlier? Are they a little bit nervous after India's approach in Australia, so they ensure India can't go for a win? I don't think, well, they are a little bit nervous with what happened here in Australia, but more so, I think they're more nervous with the way that the spinners dropped off as the day went along on day 3, and the way that the spinners started today. They just didn't find their lines and lengths, so they're just a little, they're probably erring on the cautious side. And when you're erring on the cautious side, there was a question earlier, should India go for a win? Yes, because England seem to be in that defensive mindset. So yeah, go for a win. If Pant and Gill get hurt early, then you can go on the defensive. You've got the batters for it. Draw or England win? Anil Kumar. I think it's going to be. I think it's more likely to be a draw tomorrow. 10% of India win. That's from a nudge just under your question. What's my thoughts on Sundar's batting? This is from Qatar Magesh. I thought he did extremely well under extreme pressure. He surprised me, and I'll put my hand up there. I thought Ashwin could do that job at number 7, and they go with another bowling option in Kuldeep Yadav. But it just showed the importance of having someone like Jadeja out number 7 to add those extra runs. I thought he did fantastic with the bat over here as well against a primed Australian pace attack with extra bounce. This kid's got a little bit of ticker in his heart, and what I mean by ticker, he's got a lot of guts, he's got a lot of courage. I think India might persist with him a lot more in this Test series if Jadeja can't get up and play in the final couple of Test matches. Sundar, he's going to play a big part, and he could save the series for you as well. How much will Kohli score? This is from Rahul Kumar. Well, Virat Kohli tomorrow, I'm going to be interested to see his approach against the 2 spinners, especially Bess. I was watching Bess after he got out. He was looking on the video. He was going through his bowling, and he strategically planned about. He's strategically planned for Virat Kohli in that first innings. So what he's wanting Virat Kohli to do is to push for a gap out point off a good length. He reached that milestone in that first innings. Virat Kohli normally goes back to those deliveries. He normally has sharper feet. So I think he's going to have a more aggressive approach to the spinners tomorrow. He's going to be quick on his feet. He'll get as far forward as he possibly can. If he can't get to the pitch, he'll come back. The thing for the England spinners is the Indian batsmen don't really like going to the sweep shot too early. So try and get the gaps, or try and get gaps out in the deep square regions to get the Indian batsmen to sweep. Hopefully there will be variance in bounce for the spinners, and that will get the top edge and wicket taking opportunities. Try and get the Indian batsmen to change their game. So Virat Kohli, tomorrow, I think he'll make a 50, but it's going to be a hard fought 50. I think Pant's going to be the one who's going to win it for you. All right, let's go for the last question. Rohit's issue with the new ball. This is DB. Okay, well, I thought England planned extremely well today against the two opening batsmen. They had Archer with the new ball because they know that he's got the wood over Rohit Sharma with the extra pace and bounce. Rohit Sharma plays away from his body too early in the innings. He's a bit like Shubman Gill. They don't know how to leave the ball. They like to feel bat on ball, and England know that. That's why they went with Archer. He got him in the first innings, not the second innings. But it was a good ploy to have Leach bowl with the left arm off spin with the new ball, and Leach finally got it right, landed it on leg stump, turned, beat the outside and hit the off stump. I just think that second ball with Leach, that was unlucky. He covered the spin, he did everything right. He couldn't do much more with that. But the first innings, he's got to learn and leave those balls early on, especially against someone like Archer who gets that extra bounce. Okay, there might be just one quick question down here. Should India promote Rishabh Pant ahead of Rahane if 200 runs to win? This is from Austin DeCoonan. Austin, that would be a very smart move for India to do that. I wouldn't be surprised if Gill and Pujara bat for an extended time. They might even send Pant out at number 4 and let him set the game up. And if he puts India in a winning position, then someone like Virat Kohli with a run rate of around about 2.5 to 3 and over can come out and play his natural game and still attack that win. Pant is the X factor. I think Pant should be brought up the order if Pujara and Gill bat for an hour and a half tomorrow, or even bat through that first session. Pant's got to come in that second session and take on the bowling like he did in that first innings. I think that's a very good ploy. If they lose an early wicket tomorrow, bring Kohli out and try and set up a position where they can win, and then have Pant coming in front of Rahane. Did I mention that right? I hope I did. Rightio, guys. Thanks so much for joining me. Well done to the West Indies yesterday. Well done to Pakistan today. And full credit to England for putting India on the back foot on their home conditions. I'm really looking forward to tomorrow's test match. It's going to be close. Both teams will be going for a win. It's going to be exciting. Sit back in your chairs and enjoy 2 of the top teams going head-to-head tomorrow at Chennai. Thanks very much for joining me, guys. I'll see you tomorrow night for another, just a review of this final test match and see how it ends up. Good luck to both teams. Thanks, guys, and stay safe.